Hey everybody, Chris for Pautzke Outdoors. It's that time of year. It's the time where everybody comes fishing to Rio Ruidoso, New Mexico. Rio Ruidoso is in southern New Mexico. It's one of the most popular places to trout fish in the entire country. You guys are going, what? Southern New Mexico? Trout? I'll tell you what, today we're in an area where everybody from Texas comes trout fishing. The state of New Mexico knows they're coming. They invite them with open arms. They want them to be here simply because, you know what? That's license sales. So we're going to show you where people from El Paso, Odessa, Midland, Amarillo, all those places in West Texas come here to vacation and catch trout. We're going to show you how to come right into town, use Pautzke firebait and fireballs, and catch limits of stock trout in a short amount of time, just like we are. Come with us on the adventure.
Today we're over here on the Rio Ruidoso in Rio Ruidoso. We're going to show you, if you're coming from West Texas or anywhere in Texas, want to come out here and go fishing, we're going to show you a simple way to actually do that, even if you come out here with no equipment at all. So we're going to actually show you the techniques we're going to use, the inexpensive way that we're fishing, and you'll probably come out here and fish for maybe less than 50 bucks as far as on total tackle if you don't bring any of your own stuff. Well, we'll show you how to do that today.
This is a special trout water, which means you're only allowed to keep 2 per day. And unlike maybe the Pecos or places in the Rio Grande or up north, where they do stock some larger fish, most of the fish here are going to be anywhere from 9 to 10 inches, which most people are happy with. You know, you get a couple of 9-10 inch fish, great eating fish, put on the skillet, and they're all going to be rainbows. I mean, there are other species around, but 99% of the things you catch are going to be rainbows. Now, today we did see them stock, but we didn't fish those areas. You'll see that we stocked, we watched them stock, and then we just drove to other parts of the creek and spent our time in other areas.
All right, simple setup. Inexpensive spinning rod would be my recommendation, anywhere from a 5-6, maybe 6 foot, something fairly small. Ultra light is what you want to get. And like I said, if you don't have anything that you brought with you, there's some available at any of the local retailers here in town. First thing you're going to have to do is get some salmon egg hooks, probably size 8 or 10, something fairly small, and a salmon egg hook, some split shot, a little float, and some barrel swivels. And that's pretty much it as far as on the tackle. Bait I would recommend that I'm going to use today is going to be fire bait, and this one is the garlic salmon egg that I'm going to choose today. And fireballs, my choice today is going to be the pink shrimp. We'll be drifting that and show you how to do that today with the float and without the float. All right, after you've got your spinning rod, and it's probably going to come with maybe a 6 or 8 pound test line on it, typically what you'll see on most retailers, is after that you want to actually pick up maybe some 4 pound fluorocarbon is what I'd recommend as a leader. So the way the setup is, here's your main line. Got a little float attached to it as far as on the main line. After that, I've got a barrel swivel set up. Off that barrel swivel, I've got fluorocarbon, and I've got maybe just a couple of feet as far as on the fluorocarbon. And actually a little shorter than that. I'm probably getting about 8 to 18 inches or so today. A couple of split shots tied in, just dropped in here, different levels on it, just to adjust the float on it. Simple salmon egg hook at the bottom, and just put your bait at that point and go from there.
Now, several things you'll notice. There is a trail that runs right along the Rio Ruidoso all the way through town. You can access it everywhere. We basically access it in 2 places. We found a baseball diamond that was at a park, and there was plenty of places to park there and public access. We also, everywhere you find a culvert, which for those of you who don't know, that's where the creek goes under the road and then dumps out into a big pool. We found plenty of fish in those areas as well. Now, you often wonder, what is the best thing to use? Now, most people, let's be honest, use green label salmon eggs. It's the most popular egg in the state. You guys call them fireballs. We call them balls of fire. Now, we didn't use those today. We used Pautzke garlic salmon egg firebait, and to be honest, we couldn't keep the fish off our hook. And then we also used the new Pautzke fireballs. And by fireballs, I don't mean those green label eggs. I mean fireballs. They look, they taste, they smell just like real eggs. Matter of fact, they sink, but they stay on the hook even better. So we use those pink shrimp fireballs and the chartreuse garlic fireballs.
Alright guys, down here in southern New Mexico, I choose to use Pautzke's chartreuse garlic fireballs. And the reason why I did that today, it's a little bit off color, I've given it that brighter presentation, and I've been running a 2-egg system. So what I do here is, got a little peg float, you can adjust that real easy. Couple split shots down to a barrel swivel, and then 4 pound fluorocarbon leader. And about 8 inches away from my hook, I put a little split shot just to get it down in front of those fish. Now I got a size 8 egg hook here. We're gonna take chartreuse garlic fireballs. Now what I like to do here is, I take a single one, right on my hook, Now these things don't break or anything like that, and I just pop it right up above it. Boom. Put it right on your line. And take another one right on my hook. Now what that's doing is it's giving a little extra scent and giving it a little bit more natural presentation coming down the creek. You know, you're giving them a little more to look at, a little more to chew on.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you from Rio Ruidoso, New Mexico. To be honest with you, it's one of our favorite places to come. The reason why? You know what? The weather was great. It's nice and cool, not too hot like some parts of New Mexico. We found wildlife everywhere. You know, where else can you go where you can expect to see deer all over the place? You can expect to see elk. As a matter of fact, you know, when we've been up in northern New Mexico before in Taos, we did see plenty of elk, but this time we saw elk as we were walking to the stream. You know, you'd see them running in front of cars. You would see them sitting in people's front lawns. I mean, it's just a great place to go fishing. Now, speaking about fishing, we were actually on our way to fish the Rio Ruidoso, which runs right through town for the first time. And all of a sudden, we drove by the Chamber of Commerce, and we saw the New Mexico Fish and Game stocking truck. So we pulled over, and we took a look and said, hey, can we film you guys stocking? So many people from all over New Mexico, whatever they are in West Texas, you know, they wonder, how is this done? So we basically stood there and we watched them stock that section of creek. And it sounds like New Mexico Game and Fish, they stock this place oftentimes almost every week of the year. Rio Ruidoso is a tourist dream, okay? It's up on the mountains. There's oftentimes snow-capped peaks. There's people that go out there and they'll go skiing in the morning. They'll go fishing in the afternoon, depending on what season it is. Now, this town is only a town of about 21,000 people. That means it's, you know, that's talking about the whole area, not just Rio Ruidoso itself. Rio Ruidoso Downs, you know, it's also located at 6,900 feet. Now, it receives visitors from just about everywhere. The nearest place I would say would be big city, would be 2.5 hours away in El Paso. You know, it's about 3 hours to Albuquerque. You're looking at 5 hours between Lubbock and Amarillo, that area. And then Midland is about 6 hours. And for most people, they don't mind that drive. Reason being, you know what? They're up in the mountains. They're away from the heat. They found cool, clean water, and they found trout. Now remember one thing. Rio Ruidoso in Spanish means noisy river. It wasn't that noisy for us, but it was full of trout. Come loaded with your Pautzke bait like we did, and you're going to catch those fish as often as we did. Pautzke products are available at sporting goods stores near you. If you can't find the specific color, size that you want, make sure to go to Pautzke.com. And as a thank you for watching Pautzke Outdoors, we're going to show you a coupon code to be used for 10% off your next order. Third time's a charm, folks. Third time's a charm. Will he eat it again? Oh! I just got smacked. Oh. Man. He's swimming upstream. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be in the danger zone.